The Walking Dead, Season 1, Episode 1, Days Gone By. The pilot episode of The Walking Dead, titled Days Gone By, introduces viewers to a haunting post-apocalyptic world overrun by the undead. Directed by Frank Darabont, the episode sets the tone for the series with its gripping atmosphere, intense character moments, and emotional depth. Plot summary: Rick Grimes' awakening. The story begins with Rick Grimes, Andrew Lincoln, a small-town sheriff's deputy, waking up alone in a hospital after being in a coma from a gunshot wound. As Rick regains consciousness, he discovers a world that has drastically changed. The hospital is in disarray, blood splatters coat the walls, and corpses litter the halls. Outside, abandoned cars and debris hint at the chaos that unfolded during his coma. Rick's first encounter with a walker, a grotesque, reanimated corpse, establishes the horrifying new reality. His disbelief and fear are palpable as he tries to comprehend the situation. Rick's return home. Rick makes his way to his family's house, desperate to find his wife, Lori, Sarah Wayne Callies, and son, Carl, Chandler Riggs. Finding the house empty and signs of a hasty departure, Rick is overwhelmed with grief and confusion. He begins to grasp the extent of the apocalypse but holds on to hope that his family is still alive. Morgan and Wayne. While wandering the desolate streets, Rick encounters Morgan Jones, Lennie James, and his young son, Duane. The father and son take Rick in, providing shelter and information about the world's collapse. Morgan explains that the dead are returning as walkers, mindless creatures that feed on the living. He warns Rick about the dangers of attracting walkers with sound and movement. In a poignant scene, Morgan struggles with the emotional burden of being unable to kill his zombified wife, who occasionally wanders near their house. This subplot underscores the emotional toll of the apocalypse and the moral dilemmas the survivors face. Rick's journey to Atlanta. Determined to find his family, Rick equips himself with weapons and supplies from the sheriff's station. Morgan and Duane decide to stay behind, but Rick offers them a walkie-talkie to maintain communication. Rick sets out for Atlanta, believing it to be a safe zone based on a broadcast he heard. As Rick journeys toward the city, viewers are treated to haunting imagery of abandoned highways, overturned vehicles, and lifeless landscapes. His isolation and determination are evident as he rides a horse into the heart of the city, unaware of the horrors awaiting him. The Horde in Atlanta. In one of the episode's most iconic sequences, Rick arrives in Atlanta and is confronted by the terrifying reality of the Walker Horde. Thousands of undead swarm the streets, forcing Rick to abandon his horse and seek refuge in a military tank. The tension and chaos of the scene are palpable, showcasing the relentless nature of the walkers and the dire circumstances of survival. Inside the tank, Rick finds a handgun and a dead soldier who has turned into a walker. As Rick contemplates his next move, a voice crackles over the radio, offering guidance and hope. The episode ends on a cliffhanger, leaving viewers eager to see how Rick will escape the walker-filled city. Key themes and elements. Survival and isolation. The episode explores the theme of isolation as Rick awakens to a world that has completely changed. His journey is marked by a sense of loneliness and desperation as he searches for his family. Humanity and moral dilemmas. Morgan's struggle to kill his wife highlights the emotional and ethical challenges faced by survivors. The episode examines what it means to retain humanity in a world where survival often demands brutal choices. World building. The desolate landscapes, abandoned cities, and haunting silence create an immersive post-apocalyptic setting. The episode effectively introduces the walkers as a terrifying and ever-present threat. Character development. Rick Grimes. Rick's transformation from a disoriented coma patient to a determined survivor begins in this episode. His resilience and leadership qualities start to emerge as he faces the new reality. Morgan Jones. Morgan's vulnerability and moral conflict make him a compelling and relatable character. His bond with Rick lays the foundation for future developments in the series. Lori and Carl. Though absent in this episode, Rick's search for his family provides emotional stakes and motivation for his journey. Memorable moments. Rick's shocking discovery of the walker-filled hospital, a scene that establishes the show's eerie tone. Morgan's emotional struggle as he tries but fails to kill his undead wife, highlighting the psychological toll of the apocalypse. Rick riding into Atlanta on horseback, a powerful and iconic visual that contrasts the emptiness of the world with the impending danger. The terrifying Horde sequence, culminating in Rick's desperate escape into the tank. Conclusion. Days Gone By is a masterful introduction to The Walking Dead, blending horror, drama, and emotional depth. The episode sets the stage for Rick's journey and the broader struggles of survival in a world dominated by the undead. With its compelling characters, immersive world building, and intense storytelling, the pilot establishes the series as a landmark in the post-apocalyptic genre.